last 2 days, we focused on the terms of the deal, which is one, President Obama will accept a 10-year sunset clause, and two, he's conceded a vast uranium enrichment capability to Iran. That paves the way for Iran to get the bomb, as Prime Minister Netanyahu said last week. We need to be crystal clear with the leaders of Iran. Any deal that's not approved by Congress won't be accepted by Congress. Not now, and certainly not in the future, because Congress is focused on stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce Jonathan T. Gilliam, former Navy SEAL and former FBI agent, President of U.S. Continued Service. Hello, sir.
How are you? I wore my nice jacket for you today.
I can see that, but you're not here in person, so, you know, but I appreciate the effort. I really, really do. Okay, so, yeah, first of all, let's skip to the last part of what the Senator Cotton was talking about. John Kerry yesterday goes before the Senate Foreign Relations hearing, and he's testifying, and he talks about how Congress will have no role in this agreement with Iran. They can't change it because, he says, it's not a legal document. It's not a legal agreement. So they're circumventing the Congress, and doesn't this just prove the point of the 47 senators who wrote the letter to Iran saying, this agreement isn't going to stand. It very well could not stand. So Kerry just made their point.
Exactly. I don't know if anything that anybody's doing in this government is legal. I mean, we start with Hillary. We talk about, you know, this letter. We talk about the actual deal that Kerry is working on and Obama's working on with Iran. None of it is up to par. None of it really kind of stands any type of, like, you know, structural ground. It's a perfect example how everything is completely fallen apart when it comes to foreign policy. Now it's gone from, it was just Obama and Kerry messing it all up, to now, you know, you have to have a foreign leader come and stand before our Congress and give a speech that they themselves should have been giving. So, you know, I'm from Arkansas. Tom Cotton is actually my mom's senator, and he's a war vet. Love the guy, but it's too little too late. You know, these people need to be flexing their muscles years ago. Why are we even debating on whether Iran gets a nuclear bomb?
Yeah, now that's one issue as it deals with Iran. You know better than I the damage that Iran does around the world, the terrorist groups that they support, their proxy groups that launch war against Israel and attack and overthrow Yemen, kill Americans with IEDs in Afghanistan and Iraq. Now they're in Iraq, in what is left of Iraq. I don't think we'll ever see Iraq as we've known it because Obama cut and run from Iraq. But now they're fighting alongside Iraqi soldiers to defeat ISIS. And apparently we're okay with this, but I'll bow to Netanyahu's creed that in this case, the enemy of your enemy is still your enemy.
Okay, so where all this started was with a guy named Muhammad, a little over 1,400 years ago. Several caliphs, those are the leaders of Islam after Muhammad, there was a split called Sunni and Shia. That's who we're seeing now today. So when you talk about you know, Iran and ISIS, you know, or any of these other groups, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, we are talking about the same group. Because here's what's going to happen. They may battle each other today, but eventually one of them is going to be big enough to take charge, and they'll have to work out their differences. But at that point, it's too late for us. And if we think that Iran is coming in to support us and to support Iraq, we're kidding ourselves. They have sat back and allowed ISIS to really start the wave, and now they're going to come in and finish it. And your comment about Iraq is perfect, because what I foresee are many of these, you know, weak governments like Iraq, Syria, even Afghanistan and Pakistan. Those governments will eventually crumble and secede to these different groups. And Iran, once they get the muscle to flex, they'll flex it. I mean, they support all this fight, whether they're with it or against it, with weapons and money. That's just the facts.
All right. In your role as a former FBI agent, let me ask you about what's going on in Ferguson, the horrific shooting of the 2 officers yesterday who miraculously, thank God, are both at home right now. You know, Eric Holder made a statement and blah, blah, blah. But what's going on? It was just announced before the top of this hour that other police departments are going to be taking over for Ferguson in light of the shooting when it comes to security, St. Louis police, etc. How would you solve what's going on there now? I mean, is the climate such that this is going to go on for some time?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. Eric Holder, blah, blah, blah. That's all that comes out of his mouth and any of these other people. So I think what's going on in Ferguson is a very clear picture of what's happening with our foreign policy. First off, there's no leadership. There's no plan. Everything is 100% reaction. You know, this problem could be easily solved if they had effective community leaders and effective law enforcement, city and state government leaders that came in and said, no more. You know, I literally think right now in Ferguson, it's gotten to a point where they should deploy the National Guard, lock the whole city down. There's curfew. They even affect the airwaves until people start coming together. Community leaders need to come up, and then they can back off. Because otherwise, it's going to be more of the same, and it's just going to get worse and worse. It doesn't matter who's chief of police or who's mayor. They have to fix this issue with a plan.
All right, Jonathan, always great to hear your input. Thank you very much, sir.
Be with you next time.
Thank you. Jonathan Gilliam. Nice jacket, though. Nice jacket. All right, folks. Up next, we're going to talk to Brian Zimmer about what's going on with phony driver's licenses up in Massachusetts and what the ramifications are.